So, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I want to talk about the Enneagram's relationship to the five-factor model. I had done a previous video on the Enneagram's relationship to the Myers-Briggs. The five-factor model is really fascinating, and it's one that you see a lot in the research because it's not based on theory. You know, the Enneagram and the Myers-Briggs are based on theories, where the five-factor model is based on language. And just a real brief summary is that the idea with this is that if we, for any type of personality characteristic or behavior, we've created words for it, which, you know, I kind of agree with that. We may not have it for every single behavior, but we probably have tried to create words to label it. And so then they did essentially a factor analysis to determine, can we fit all of these words for this into domains? And they did 5 domains, each with 6 facets under each domain. And so then that's just kind of used to determine or to try to get a feel for somebody's personality. And there's all kind of assessments out there in the public domain for, you know, testing the five-factor model as well as Enneagram. All right, that said, just also over here as a reminder, as I'm talking about this, you know, a positive relationship is we've got 2 variables on our axis here, and a low score on this variable would indicate a lower score here if we have a strong positive correlation. And so then a higher score on this variable would be a higher score on this other variable, again, if it's positive. Negative correlation, we have a high score on this variable would be a low score on this variable. And then a lower score on this variable would be a higher score here. All right, so just a reminder. So let's look at this, and there's all kind of great videos out there about the Enneagram and so forth, so you can look at this. I'm not an expert on it, but I do like it as a way to generate insight. All right, the type 1 reformer, we have a positive relationship to conscientiousness on the Big-5. Makes sense. They want to get things done, and that's one of the characteristics of high conscientiousness people. The helper, I'm in touch with a lot of helpers. Positive correlation to agreeableness, wants to get along, and also wants to make things happen, wants to interact with people, wants to heal, wants to counsel, and so forth. Type 3 achiever, negative relationship, as you see here, to agreeableness. They don't necessarily need to get along. They want to get things done. So again, conscientiousness, as we discussed, and extroversion. You know, I can be a leader. I can take leadership in groups and so forth. The artist, all right, this is me. Negative relationship to conscientiousness, but positive relationship to neuroticism. Now, frankly, I think people that are really tapped into their energy and to their higher self, if you will, you know, experience this. We're hypersensitive to noise and negative vibes and so forth. Now, I know I'm getting woo-woo on you, but I do believe it. And so we can experience anxiety and depression and just downness and hostility and so forth. But we're also really open to ideas. So positive relationship to those two. The thinker, negative relationship to extroversion. Hey, I want to be by myself. I want to think about problems and come up with solutions. So that kind of makes sense. Type 6 loyalist, the negative relationship to extroversion and openness. Yeah, you know, it's like, hey, I'm going to kind of follow the set guidelines. I think from the Myers-Briggs type indicator, this one may be related to people of more traditional values. Positive relationship to neuroticism. Okay, we should explore this. This is interesting. Type 7 enthusiast, negative relationship to conscientiousness, but positive to extroversion and openness. That seems to make sense. Type 8 challenger, negative relationship to agreeableness. They don't need to get along, but positive to extroversion. Hey, I'm going to get out there and make changes, and I don't mind voicing my opinion. That's how I'm reading this. And then the mediator, 9, agreeableness. They want people to get along. They can facilitate dialogue. They see arguments from both sides. So just wanted to kind of give a little bit of information about this as I see it, and the fact that we're taking the Enneagram, which is theoretical definition or understanding of personality, and relating it to something Less theoretical, based on language, and one that we see in the psychological literature a lot. All right, let me know if this is helpful. Thank you for all the good work you're doing, and take good care.